Julia Mary going to stop by tomorrow again, by the way.
Oh, nice.
She's one of the comedians. She was in here with us last year.
She's a wild one.
She's a wild one. She's the one that turned Mary's mic off, I think. Mm-hmm. Isn't she?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. I'm going to have the two of you go at it tomorrow.
Hash it out.
Hash it out. That's right. Well, this year, Mary is not in the rotation to host the Funny Bus. Last year was all four of us. This year, just me and Bill.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think we can handle it. I think we're going to be okay. So funnybus.net, I know there is literally one, as of this morning, it might be gone now. As of this morning when I got in, there was one ticket left for sale for tomorrow. And then maybe a dozen or so for the next couple of weeks. So anyway, funnybus.net, you'll see the Alan Cox Show sticker there. Cavs in Boston tonight. Game 1 against the Celtics. Game 2 is going to be Thursday night. Got a spare $50,000? Want to sit courtside? The TD Garden? Mary can point you in the right direction. Bump your head in the ceiling.
I think I was looking at the wrong tickets for that. The crazy expensive ones are actually the Knicks game.
Yeah, you're going to want to look at Cavs, CLEBOS.
CLEBOS?
Oh, I mean, that's probably how they abbreviate them on the... So the Cavs game, we have Guardians here on MMS. Cavs will be heard on WTAM 1100. But when we get out of here a bit early, 6 o'clock, because Tigers set up second of 3 against the Guardians. Detroit and Cleveland right around the corner. The Guardians beat them last night 2-1. So 6-10 tonight, and then they'll finish that series tomorrow afternoon before the Guardians head off to Chicago to play the White Sox. And then they'll go to Texas. Where do the Rangers play? Dallas? Arlington? Is that where they?
Yeah.
It's a Dallas team. Yeah,
I think they play in Arlington. I think their stadium's in Arlington.
And then the Twins come to town, and the Mets. Let's go out and greet the Mets. So tonight, Cavs, Celtics, and should be very exciting. I'm dipping in a little bit, right? I want to see what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
I'll be doing my show at Brothers Lounge, but then also... We should be done in plenty of time to watch the end of the Cavs game.
Yeah, you got to go in there and have them turn the TVs off? Is that the way that works?
Well, we do that because it's in the back room anyway, so we always have them turn the TVs off. But
right.
Then they have them on in the front, and then once the game's over, we turn it right on.
Alan, fun fact, you guys were talking about Peter Weber screaming. He was yelling at a 12-year-old who'd been talking shrimp to him the whole time.
That's even better. That makes it so much funnier.
A 12-year-old was talking smack to him, and that was his response. Hey, kid, who do you think you are? I am. That's still a weird response. I don't care if it's 12 or a 40-year-old heckling him. Imagine heckling a bowler. Oh, only a 12-year-old would do that. I love it.
I just watched in the break. I went down a little rabbit hole of like bowling videos, and there was one that was unique, like form, unique different techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people look like they're having seizures when they walk up there, but they get strikes every single time. You're like, how does this happen? And everyone's like, I mean, if it works, it works, but you look like you just walked through a tornado.
Yeah, it's like some baseball pitchers. I mean, some of them have very unorthodox form, but if it works for them, everybody's different. Alan, bowling is so damn expensive these days. 4 of us went, and it was $150.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but when you throw in some beers and you're... then you gotta spend $50 on Frogger, and then you're at the claw machine. That's another $100, and then you take the shoes home, and they charge you because you took the shoes home.
That's $2,000.
And yes, and I'm like, I like these, and
it's because they go with everything.
They go with everything. They're falling apart,
and they're comfortable.
Yeah,
because they're broken in already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
And then you get the foot fungus from the shoes, and then that's another...
You have to cure it.
Yeah, $2,000.
And then your husband tries to kill you because you're in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. That's no good. Boy, you really opened my eyes on this thing here.
You're welcome.
Between the foot fungus and the murdering and the whole thing. Good grief.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
Wouldn't it be hysterical if we went bowling? Because for most of us, bowling is the activity you do after you've done everything else. It's like, well, we could go bowling, or we could just hang ourselves. Why don't we go bowling? No one's ever jealous when they hear you went bowling. Oh, you went bowling? Glad I couldn't make it. Bowling's great. You gotta love a sport you can eat while you play it. Never see that in tennis. Hey, before you serve, let me dig into these nachos.
I would be a little jealous if I heard people were going bowling and I hadn't been invited. Not jealous. Wouldn't rise to the level of jealousy. I'm always pleased when I'm not invited to things. But it's, because I bowl so infrequently, it'd be one of those things where I'd be like, oh, that probably would have been fun.
You want to be asked.
I don't know about that either.
Oh.
It's just in retrospect. You go, oh, yeah. If I had heard about it, yeah, it would have been fun. Al, did you ever have any creepy scoutmasters? No, I got beat up by the other scouts a lot. I remember like the den mother would be inside doing stuff, and then she'd come out because she'd hear some commotion, and they'd all stop. They'd like Weekend at Bernie's me, and then she'd come out and look around, and then she'd go back in the house getting stuff, and they'd start beating me up again like in the front yard. I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. This sucks.
We didn't have any creepy ones, but
No,
I just didn't like
that.
it. I just didn't want to be there. And it doesn't help, when that's like the one thing that your dad does with you is the thing that you hate the most.
Right. That's
like,
that's not good.
No,
yeah.
it was like, and so it was a weird thing where it's like, okay, you like this, but I don't like this, but this is the only time we spend together, and I'm hating it the whole time. And so there's no actual bonding happening because I just didn't want to be there. And then have allergies on top of that. So half the time I'd be sneezing or have to be so gacked up on Benadryl that I felt weird or.
So there was really,
terrible.
Your dad is still your dad. I mean, I know there's a stringent Mormon thing going on there, but your dad is still your dad. There was no wiggle room for you to be like, I really don't want to do this, and it sucks, and my eyes are watering.
There was
really?
nothing like that.
Wow.
There was no.
It was like it or bite it.
The whole thing was like, yeah, like the Mormon Church. You have free will, but not really, because if you don't do the things that we say, then you don't get to partake in eternal salvation, and
Right.
they kind of knocked that a lot. So it was.
You have a very narrow scope of free will.
Yeah,
right.
It was pretty bad. And then the things that I liked were, I liked basketball and football, and he like outwardly said, like, I hate these things. These are not things that I enjoy whatsoever. So there was no real bonding ever between any of that stuff.
Wow. Mary, will you wear a bowler hat? There has to
No.
be a haberdasher near you.
There might be, but I did not pack or account for that today.
The bowler hat. Also known as the billy cock. You're not going to wear one of those?
I don't think.
Guys, I'll be right there. I got to grab my billy cock. I got $1,000 for you. It's money for you. I hope you win. Courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. You get one of these every hour, so don't waste it.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
This guy just died. I don't know how many people are hip to this guy. You guys probably won't know him at all, but this guy's named Gary Floyd. He was 71. He was the frontman for a band called The Dicks. These guys were like a big deal back in the day. And they were from Austin, Texas. This song is called The Dicks Hate the Police. A lot of anti-cop stuff. A lot of anti-Nazi songs. A song called Anti-Klan. You know, the kind of sentiments that a lot of Americans right now aren't really down with. What do you mean these guys don't like Nazis? And they were one of the few kind of those punk bands in the early 80s to have a very loud, openly gay frontman. And they were from Texas, no less. You know, I mean, he was a chubby dude. He had a goatee, but they were very, very outspoken in their opinions. And he went on to form a band that kind of had some post-grunge success. Gary Floyd went on to front a band called Sister Double Happiness in the mid-'90s. And the Dicks reunited a few years ago. But those guys got going late 70s, early 80s. And they kind of made some noise for a while. But He used to get out there and, in very much the same vein as Peter Weber, who do you think you are? I am. Gary Floyd would get out there and go, I'm a big old fat queer. What the hell are you? And then they'd launch into music. And the Dicks broke up, Gesundheit, mid-'80s. And he played with some other bands. But for people who were down with that band or who were familiar with them, they were because some of that early 80s Texas punk. Gibby Haynes was kind of part of that whole thing, too. And so Gary Floyd, who, again, was not in great shape. He had congestive heart failure. He was on life support. He had been in the hospital in Austin. And that same guy came in and tried to kill him. And he said, hey, please don't do that again. And he didn't. He went on to, the other guy went on to kill his wife. He left Gary Floyd alone. But anybody who likes that old school punk might remember the Dicks. I mean, you were running out of names back then because you wanted a name. You would have the and then a noun. But you wanted something that would really catch people's ears.
You wanted to make sure you conform to that punk format.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, all those doo-wop bands back in the day, they were like the Five Satins and the Clovers, or whatever. I mean, what's more minimalist than just the and then something?
Getting rid of the?
Well, I think technically they did. I think the band was called Dicks. But you know how people like to put, we tend to put like the Eagles. The band is Eagles. Mm-hmm. But everybody called them the Eagles because it felt weird to say it otherwise. So I think they might have just been Dicks. I was playing with my daughter. She is, did you guys take Spanish in high school?
No, I took German.
You took German?
Mm-hmm.
Mach schnell. Mary took Spanish.
How dare you?
Yes. I took Spanish 8th grade all the way through college.
8th grade through college?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so you got pretty proficient in it then?
Yes.
How dare you?
Well, I took French, and I didn't take it like for a long, long time, but enough to, conversationally. And my daughter is taking Spanish, and Spanish is, in fact, her favorite subject. And she's getting kind of proficient at it. And so she was like, hey, can we play with Google Translate? How about you write some sentences, and then I'll tell you if I know what they are. And I said, great. I said, this will be fun. Let's try this. So I would type something in English. It would translate it to Spanish, and then I would play it for her and to see if she was able to decipher what it was. Mary's Spanish might come in handy here.
Okay.
¿Podrías ayudarme a comer este pony?
Can you do it again? This is hard to hear. Do it again.
¿Podrías ayudarme a comer este pony?
Will you help me? Something with the food.
She's good.
Will you
me.
please help me eat this pony?
Eat the pony.
She's really good.
Eat something.
Yeah, my daughter didn't get that one. I mean, she's only in the 2nd grade, but, Yeah, you're pretty
Try
good.
again.
Ayuda. Alguien me ha robado el dedo grande.
Something big.
It's help. Do it again.
Ayuda. Alguien me ha robado el dedo grande.
Help.
Help is right. She's very
I
good.
did something again. I'm stuck in something big. What is that?
Help. Someone has stolen my big toe.
Someone has stolen my
Yeah,
big toe.
I'm just trying to give her conversational
Yeah.
Spanish so she
Yeah.
can get out there. And
All right, let's see.
Mary's good.
I
¿Por
pick up
qué
one.
esa ardilla vomita sangre?
Say it one more time.
¿Por qué esa ardilla vomita sangre?
Why did you do something with blood?
¿Por qué esa ardilla vomita sangre?
Mm.
Why are you using something blood?
Why is that squirrel vomiting blood?
Ah!
Just everyday phrases. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they always say. They're like, be conversational and the language will come to you.
Me ha llamado atención que has estado cagando debajo del fregadero de la cocina.
Wow, there's a lot going on there. Boy,
Yeah, do it
you're just gonna impress my pants right off if you nail that one.
So hard. Okay, wait, go ahead.
Me ha llamado atención que has estado cagando debajo del fregadero de la cocina.
Now, this one my 2nd grader did get, and I was so unbelievably impressed. I've slowed these down a bit, too, to make it a little bit more.
Me ha llamado atención que has estado cagando debajo del fregadero de la cocina.
Something underneath the kitchen fridge.
Boy, she's great.
What is it? Something, help me, something, pay attention, something's underneath the kitchen fridge. What is it?
Kitchen fridge. Close.
It has come to my attention that you've been pooping under the kitchen sink.
Yeah,
Kitchen
I mean,
sink,
you were
damn
really,
it.
really close. Very close.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I was in the right room.
Yeah, she's pretty good, though.
But
Boy,
also,
this
like you
is-
said, these are never sentences that are going to happen. in
These are
real
so
life.
common. That's why I was throwing them at her. I was like, you're going to use these all the time. You know how many times I've had to, when we were in Paris, how many times I had to ask somebody in French why that squirrel was vomiting blood? All the time. It's way more common than you think. And nevertheless, even if it's not particularly common, you want to be prepared.
Yeah, if you were seeing it, you want to know the reason.
Yeah, you want to be ready.
Do you ever find out why?
No. Nope.
Is
Nor
that
did
all
I
of
find
them?
out why that person was pooping under the kitchen sink.
Under the kitchen sink.
It seems unsanitary down there with the Big Daddy scrubs. That's no good.
Scrub daddy.
I got the scrub mommy.
Yeah, it is the big scrub. It is a scrub daddy, isn't it? Big scrub. You got the what?
Scrub mommies, they got it's double-sided. So they got like a side
Double-sided.
well,
Aren't they
there's-
all sided? Double-sided?
Well, like there's one side that's a different texture.
Oh.
They get like the hard to get stuff, like for something that's like more like cooked on.
I see. I like those scrub daddies.
I'm a big fan.
I came to them a little late, but yeah, I enjoy those because I don't always trust the dishwasher. And we've had this conversation before. You and Brian have fought over dishwasher protocol. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rinser. You're not.
He basically washes the dish without soap before he puts it in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not kidding.
But I
When
am
you
a
open-
rinser.
When you open the dishwasher, there is no sign whether those dishes are clean or dirty. You would never, ever be able to tell that they're dirty.
Well, the trouble with that is then you put in dirty dishes with clean ones.
No.
Or
because
vice
we have
versa.
we have a sign
Ah.
that he is very adamant about putting the sign out if the dishes are clean or dirty. And I'm like, if you didn't clean them before you put them in the dishwasher, you would know.
Wait, a sign
were-
that is affixed to the dishwasher?
No, it's a piece of paper that says dishes are clean. And when you start the dishwasher, you have to go put the paper by the dishwasher so you know that the dishes are clean.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a whole system.
Let me tell you how hard I laughed because I gave him so much crap for this, where I'm like, dude, if you just left a little bit of food on there, you'd be able to tell if they were clean or dirty. And then we go on vacation.
Instead of having the sign, you mean?
Yes, we go
Yeah.
on vacation for the first time to his parents' house in Arizona. And sure enough, right on the drawer above the dishwasher, what is there? A piece of paper written on it says dishes are clean. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
that sounds like learned
I see where you
behavior.
got it from."
Yes, we pick up all those weird things from our parents. If your parents had weird things, we develop weird things.
I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah. Alan, the whole point of the scrub daddy is that it changes its abrasion in different temperatures. Oh, is that the point? I thought it was just a cheap plastic sponge that you could use.
I thought it was just to make suggestive videos where you take a grapefruit or a cucumber and shove it through the mouth of it and post them on.
Oh, I've never even done that.
Instagram. Yeah,
Well, that's a good
There
idea.
you go.
That
Put it
is
in the mouth.
hilarious.
Put it in the scrub daddy's mouth and be like, clean this cucumber, you bitch.
Wow.
Ew.
Why not scrub mommy? Why scrub daddy?
I don't know. We were talking about scrub daddy. You can do it with either.
But you like the scrub mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have scrub kid? Like a tiny,
Drake
tiny
does.
sponge that you use? You drink those?
That's what Drake does.
Drake does. Yeah, I don't understand. I have not, the Tom Brady roast, Kevin Hart kept referring to the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, and I'm like, I couldn't be less interested in this. And it seemed like all people were talking about.
It's a big deal.
I think it seems like that. I think if you were to ask a lot of people, they'd be like, I have no idea what it is. I know those guys are both very popular. I happen to like Kendrick Lamar way more than Drake, but I don't even know what they're mad about. Don't care, but boy, that clickbait is not waning at all. Security guard got shot. This is spilled out into the real world. Somebody drove by Drake's house and shot a security guard
Jeez.
and rolled out. I got a break here. If you want to send me a text for something, 35192. Want to go see the band Testament? Are you into your heavy metal? Are you with us on Saturday nights for 2 hours to midnight? It's the Clash of the Titans tour of Testament and Creator and Possessed. October 1, all of them at the Agora. I'll have those tickets for you after the break.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. And now, a Buzzard Bookie safe bet. If you gotta be in court, always check behind the toilets for bribe money that hasn't been collected yet. And always be listening for those keywords to win $1,000. Up to 9 chances to play every weekday at 30 past the hour. Take the action from the Buzzard Bookie on 100.7 WMMS. Brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs.
Here's my Jersey Mike's radio idea. I'm a ninja warrior.